Morning, everyone. This meeting is being recorded, as we were just told. Thank you for joining us today for the Social Services Transportation Advisory Council meeting. I believe I saw in the notes that it's our 8th virtual meeting so far. So welcome everyone. And I believe that, I'm sorry, did I say my name? I'm Megan Schmidt. I'm the Director of Operations at FACT, and I'm also the chair of this committee. And with that, I'll let Lisa take care of some housekeeping items for us.
Thank you, Megan. Welcome everyone to the 8th virtual meeting of the STAC, as Megan mentioned. Before we get started, I'd like to ask our interpreter, Carlos, to introduce himself and walk through how to access our interpretation services for today's meeting. Carlos.
Thank you very much. As was just stated, we do have simultaneous interpretation available. In the event that there are any comments in Spanish from the public, to use the interpretation feature, please scroll to the bottom of the Zoom screen where your meeting controls are, then click on the interpretation icon, it looks like a world, and select English as your language. If you are joining through the Zoom mobile app on a cell phone, tablet, etc., please press the ellipsis, the 3 dots, then interpretation, and then choose your language. Finally, click on Mute Original Audio to not hear the original Spanish low in the background. I will now repeat this message in Spanish. Buenos días, se está ofreciendo servicio de interpretación simultánea. Para hacer uso del mismo, por favor desplácese a la parte inferior de su pantalla de Zoom donde aparecen los controles, haga clic en el icono de interpretación, parece un globo terráqueo, y seleccione Spanish o español. Si está utilizando la aplicación móvil de Zoom en celular, tableta, etc., presione primero los puntos suspensivos, luego interpretación y luego el idioma. Por último, si no desea escuchar el audio original en inglés en el fondo, por favor seleccione Mute Original Audio o silenciar audio original. Gracias and thank you. This concludes my message.
Thank you, Carlos. Okay, let's get started with roll call to make sure we have a quorum. It'll say Carrie. Kent Rodricks. I don't think Ilse or Kent are here. I haven't seen them. Helen Elias or Clyde Kohler. Oh, there's Clyde. Clyde, are you here? Can someone promote Clyde because it's not letting me?
Lisa, she may have to for promotion.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Clyde, are you here?
I'm here. I was trying to tell you I couldn't even get in by the link. I had to type in the ID number.
Oh, how weird.
Yeah, it wouldn't work at all. And I looked at the telephone numbers and none of them are familiar to my region. So I was like, what do I do? So I tried this way and now I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for joining.
Of course.
Okay, is Lori Seagram here? Or, oh, I'm sorry. Lori, are you here? Or Charlene Ornelas? Or Catherine Manis? I didn't see any of them on the attendance list.
I just want to tell you, I tried that link on my iPad and on my PC, and it wouldn't work on either one. So people might be having trouble.
Oh, no. Yeah, nobody else has reached out to me via email or anything else.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, but I couldn't get in. I couldn't get it to even go there.
Oh, okay. How weird. Okay. Wayne, I see you're here. Can you just confirm?
I'm here.
Thank you, Wayne. Rebecca Steiner. I don't see her on the list. Ted Kagan.
Ed Kagan is here.
Okay, thank you, Ted. And then I saw Hannah Ingersoll from Survivors of Torture. Are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, and you're here for Winona and Mavash.
Yes.
Okay. And then Center for the Blind, Marissa Lucero or Elsa Caballero. Marissa had let me know that they had a conflict and weren't sure if they were going to be able to make it, so it doesn't look like they're here. Todd Shaw or Ed Hershey from Home of Guiding Hands. I don't see them either, but I did see Anthony DeSalis. Are you here?
Yes, I am.
All right, thank you, Anthony. And then Elder Help, I saw Claudia, you're here, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Nancy, no, you're here. Nancy, can you just confirm you're here?
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. This is Nancy for Claudia. Claudia is no longer with Elder Help. So this is Nancy. I'll be sitting in on the meetings.
Okay, thank you, Nancy.
Hello? Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks. And then Megan Schmidt.
And Bud is here for Arun, I believe.
Oh, okay. Bud, are you here? Oh, you know what, we might need to promote him. Bud, are you on the call?
Yes, good morning. For some reason it kicked me out for a second and then just let me back in. So good morning, everyone.
Thank you, Bud. Okay, and then Jay Washburn.
Here.
Good morning, Jay. And then I thought I saw Charles Main as well.
Yes, hi, Lisa.
Hi, Charles. Is Robert Gibo here?
I can check. His office is close to mine, but I'm at least here to provide our update.
Okay, thanks, Charles. Yeah, I don't see Robert. Okay. So before we get started, just a couple quick notes. This meeting is being recorded. And because this is a new process and also a changing process all the time, I'll go over some basic instructions for both council members and members of the public to participate today. For SDAC members, if you'd like to speak or provide comment, notify staff by 1, clicking on your camera, or 2, raising your hand. Please make sure to unmute your microphone to speak. And if you are not speaking, please make sure that your microphone is muted and that your camera is off. For clarity of the record, please identify yourself each time you speak. Please only use the chat box if you're having technical difficulties. For voting, by state law, all votes in a teleconference meeting must be a roll call vote. After there has been a motion and a second, I will call for the vote of each member individually, and that member will be unmuted to vote. At the conclusion of voting, the chair will announce the result. For members of the public who are virtually attending this meeting may comment by raising their hands in Zoom. To do so, click on the raised hand icon at the bottom of the toolbar. If you are participating by phone, press *9 to raise your hand. When the chair recognizes you, you will be unmuted by staff and can make your comment. For every agenda item, the chair must request public comments, and this must be stated clearly on the record. We need to state that either there are none for the record or that we have public comments. For items with an action, the clerk performs the roll call vote. The chair will ask for the motion and the second and recognize members. The members themselves must speak for the record. Lastly, please speak at a normal pace so that the interpreter can adequately interpret all of the information. Thank you, and please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, and so we did take roll already. So we can go ahead and approve the minutes, I believe.
Thank you, Lisa. Does anybody have any comments on the meeting minutes from, I believe this was May?
Yes, it's the May meeting minutes.
Would any member like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
This is Wayne. I would like to approve the May minutes for the board.
Ted
Thank
Kagan
you.
seconds.
Thank you, Wayne and Ted.
Okay, let me do a quick roll call. So Clyde Kohler.
Aye.
Okay. Wayne and Ted, you already motioned. Hannah, do you approve?
Yes, I approve.
Okay, Anthony DeSalis.
Abstain.
Okay. Okay, Nancy.
Approve.
Megan Schmidt.
Yes, I approve.
Okay, and then Bud Anderson for Arun.
Yes, approve.
Okay, and then Jay Washburn.
Approve.
Okay, and Charles Main.
Approved.
Okay, thank you, Charles. And all right, the meeting minutes are approved. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Lisa. Item number 3 is public and member comments. Start with member comments. Does anyone have anything to report on or any comments? I see an attendee hand up for Sharon.
Okay, I've unmuted. Hi, everybody. Good morning. In the meeting, am I being heard?
Yes.
Okay, great. In the meeting minutes, last meeting, I mentioned about the schedules coming back on the public transit. I haven't had any response back.
Hi, Sharon, this is Lisa.
Sure.
We addressed that in the public hearing comments, and so that's later in the agenda.
Oh, I mean, it was in the last minutes that I couldn't vote for approving the minutes, but it was in there, but there was no answer to it. I guess, I'm sorry if that's the wrong way to do it.
Oh, okay. We can discuss that. I think that comment got recorded as part of the public hearing, so that's where it was addressed.
Okay.
And there should have, and I think I made an agenda item for the public hearing. So the response is not in the minutes, it's in the agenda item. So I can.
Okay.
So when we get to that item, I can pull it up.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem.
We also did have, oh, I'm sorry, Wayne.
Yes, we're still in comments. I was just say I'm on the accessibility advisory board for the VA hospital up there, and we're having our annual accreditation. And one of the things we were inspecting was the new trolley drop off up there. And there's some issues from the trolley to the hospital that hopefully we can get addressed a little bit through the hospital. But as far as the trolley is and everything up there, it really looks like they did an awesome job. It's very accessible. It's gonna mean a lot to a lot of people that have to get into the hospital. That transportation is gonna be a big step forward. That's all I had.
Thank you, Wayne.
And then I do have one other public comment. And so let me look at my speaking notes. Okay, so I did not receive any public comments emailed to me ahead of this meeting, but Alex Ariza, an active transportation planner from Caltrans, reached out to me about discussing Caltrans's active transportation plan. And since the agenda for this meeting had already gone out, I couldn't add him to the agenda, but I let him know that he could speak during public comment. And he also had a brief PowerPoint that he wanted to present. So Alex, if you want to give your presentation now, we can go ahead and do that.
Sure, I can do that. Cool, when you have it up already. All right, I'll just jump into it. Thanks for having me here. My name is Alex Ariza, transportation planner in multimodal programs branch here with Caltrans. I was directed to your council. It'd be a good place to plug this plan. High level overview, right now we're soliciting input for the public survey, and really what you do is you'll go in and you can drop pins on a map and let us know about certain situations related to specifically biking and walking, but we're really concerned about all vulnerable road users, so even those that are in wheelchair, disabled, elderly, and small children. So we make sure this link gets out to you. There's also the survey page where you can learn more about it. And really I'm hoping you guys can, this council can spread the word, share outreach materials. The link is on this slide. And that would be great. And the goals of the plan are just to implement the goals of the state bike and ped plan. We're developing performance measures within the institution, strengthening partnerships, local, regional, community-based organizations, transportation agencies, etc. Like I said, this is going to identify location-based needs. It's not like other plans where we're going to have projects that will be built. It's more to really open our eyes to certain situations on the ground and connect local networks, close gaps. I'm sure, maybe those who you serve may experience, some challenging environments when they're walking or biking near the freeways, on ramps and off ramps and all that. So we hope that I hope this gets distributed and you guys can take a look at the survey and share it and also take it yourself. And if you have any questions, that's my information on the bottom there. I'm the co-lead right now. Very soon I'll be the plan lead. And you can also reach out to Vanessa. I think there's a couple more slides too. Oh, okay. And for the members of this council, we have a partner survey. And this is designed to be more of like a professional, institutional perspective on the issues we're looking at here. And I think the link is embedded in this slide. Next slide. So the tool is called Clouder, and when you get this, you can click on the top. Like I said, this is for our working partners, transportation agencies, cities, local agencies, etc. Next slide. So this is just instructions. I'll go through it real quick. When you do it, you just log in. Next slide. Or click that link, and then you can fill out this with some of your information. And next slide, you'll have access right away, and you'll see the whole district here. You click on the partner link button. And next slide. And you just click add a comment. Next slide. And there you can just make us aware to any bike, ped, general traffic related comments, or anything more general. You can just type it in there, and we'll have that information on the back of house here, and that will inform our work in the future. Next slide. Like there's our contact information again. So like I said, I hope you guys can participate in the survey if you haven't already. sign in for the partner survey, help distribute the public survey. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask me now or
Hi, Alex. This is Lisa Madsen. I just wanted to note that I can go ahead and send out the links to all the members of the meeting after the meeting.
awesome.
So we can go ahead and do that. I didn't know if anybody, either a panelist or attendee, has any other questions for Alex.
See, Sharon does.
Yes, hi. Thank you, Alex. I have a question. How do we, when we fill out that survey, do you keep us in the loop to get back to us and let us know what the survey results were and what the action plan may be?
Right now, it's like I said, it's informing our internal processes. So really, when we go out and build projects or repair, fix, do whatever we do, we'll be aware of any active transportation related issues. Right now, we don't really have like a channel to feedback, but this is really like one of the beginning steps, as I see it, we're really shifting towards a more multimodal system, multimodal approach at Caltrans. What I would say is, keep reaching out to us, and when these projects get built, you'll see the results. Yeah, that's how it's happening right now.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other questions for Alexander? Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you, guys.
All right, the next item is the staff report from SANDAG.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So a few things going on. I sent out an email last week regarding the Caltrans ADA transition plan. Per the Caltrans website, Caltrans is committed to bringing its entire infrastructure into compliance with state and federal ADA standards. The United States Congress understood that it would be an insurmountable financial burden for a public agency to make all of the infrastructure they were responsible for accessible within a short time frame. As a result, public agencies are permitted to transition into full compliance through an ADA transition plan that identifies physical access barriers and proposes a schedule for removal of those barriers based on the financial abilities of the agency. Caltrans is developing an ADA transition plan that documents the legal requirements and Caltrans's functional goals and objectives to make pedestrian facilities within Caltrans's right-of-way accessible and usable for persons with disabilities. This transition plan will be this plan will be used to guide the planning, programming, and implementation needed to make Caltrans's facilities ADA compliant. The draft Caltrans ADA transition plan is now available for public comments and can be accessed online. Comments may be submitted through September 10th, 2021. To access the plan, please reach out to me and I can resend the link, or you can just Google Caltrans ADA transition plan and it's the first link that comes up. So next, the draft 2021 regional plan is available for public comment for 10 more days until July 30th, 2021. And so a public hearing for the plan will be held this Friday at the SANDAG Board of Directors meeting at 9 a.m. So tune in. Also, SANDAG is hiring. If you or anyone else you know is interested in working at SANDAG, head over to the website, click on job openings, and then see where it says SANDAG is filling several positions within multiple program areas. Click here for more information to see all the job opportunities available right now. And then lastly, this is some big news. This will be my last SDAC meeting as staff liaison. I have accepted a position within SANDAG's Sustainable Community section, so I will be shifting my focus from transit to housing. So I look forward to coming back to the council in that capacity, but that's my big news for the meeting. I've been involved with STAC in one way or another for about 12 years now, so this is going to be a big change. But again, it's been great working with you all over the years and being the staff liaison for this past year and a half, but I look forward to coming back in my capacity in working with the housing team. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much for your dedication to this group and your support. Did anyone have any public comments or member comments under this item?
Hey, Megan, this is Brian.
Brian, go ahead.
Just really quick, yeah, and I'd like to thank Lisa as well for her assistance with this group, and we're going to find another staff person in our group to help be the staff liaison for the next couple of years. I got to do this job for 3 or 4 years in the past, and it's been fun. Love being at these meetings and getting all the input from everybody. I was going to add on, the regional plan comments, there's actually, the deadline is August 6th. I believe Lisa said July 30th, but it's Friday, August 6th is the deadline for that. So there's a couple more weeks for that. And then if you had listened to the Transportation Committee last Friday, I brought an item about doing a social equity transit pilot program or project. Hassan is very keen on moving projects forward as fast as he can with the regional plan that are kind of drafted in there. So I've been asked to help lead a group, and I'm going to go to the social equity working group next Thursday to discuss this a little more. But the idea will be that try to get a project or policy out of the regional plan that addresses social equity concerns for disadvantaged communities in the region, whether it be low income fares, youth fares, senior fares, adding some frequencies on bus routes in areas that are disadvantaged, late night service on buses. We're not sure that it's still wide open on exactly what we would do. So we'll be gathering input over the next few months, and I'll come back to the Transportation Committee Social Equity Working Group later this fall for the preferred option and the budget amendment to do that project. It probably wouldn't start until next year and would be a year-long kind of a pilot program. Like I said, I'll be taking that next Thursday morning to the Sandag Social Equity Working Group. You're invited to come to that if you want to listen in a little more and provide comment. And then we'll have a small working group come out of that group that'll meet every couple of weeks to talk about this, meet with planners from both agencies and see what's most feasible and what's the preferred option from the stakeholders and the public. I'll come back to the STAC as well to get your input at our next meeting in September. So look forward to that. And otherwise, that's it from my side of things. Thanks, Megan.
Thanks, Brian. That sounds like a great working group, and we'll be happy to have you share about that at CAM as well. Any public comments or member comments for Brian or Lisa?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay. All right. Item number 5 is the Pronto fare system. And I believe someone from MTS staff is speaking about this.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Good morning. Yes, we can hear you. Welcome.
Hi there. My name is Figueroa. I am marketing specialist here at MTS, and thank you so much, for having us today. I will be presenting our fare collection system. Is basically introducing what we're doing is specifically to reach senior communities, people with disabilities, and we want to open this discussion to be able to understand more what you need from us and what we can do to serve you better. So I will be just starting the presentation, and I'm going to go over the agenda today. So first of all, I'm going to be talking about why MTS is switching to Pronto, our transition phase, benefits of Pronto, how to register, and how we plan to communicate with seniors and other communities. And also, I want to really open it up to any discussion of what we can do to serve you best. I am a huge believer of we really don't know what we don't know until, I want to be able to talk to each one of these organizations that are involved in this discussion to be able to understand like what can we do to serve you best, and only you can tell us that. So let's go to the next slide, please. All right, so why is MTS switching to Pronto? First of all, it's newer technology. It's much better. It's more accessible. Our current system is Compass Cloud and Compass App. And as we know, it's about over a decade old in technology years, so it could also be 100 years plus. So it's different technology, it's more accessible, and there's new features that will enhance the rider experience. And some of them I will be going over today, and they're very, very exciting. So we can go to the next slide, please. So first of all, there's really significant savings for seniors. Our monthly pass is $23 versus obviously the adult monthly pass is $72, helping families. Currently, we're not able to add multiple riders under one account. And that is something that Pronto is going to be able to do. Now, for example, if I have my grandpa and my sister that they're riding transit, what I can do is have one account and add them into that account and be able to load money into their account. That way they're able to move around the city without them even having to go online. So that is a huge, huge benefit in this new system that we'll be introducing in a couple of months. We will be also having more locations available, over 400 plus retail stores and locations. And obviously this is a system that will be working with MTS and North County Transit District as well. You can go to the next slide. So like I said, more benefits. We are able to track usage as you go, meaning, for example, a person will be able to go online and see where, how their account is going, be able to load up things, load up money right away, and that money will be available right away, which is a huge, huge benefit for our communities. Also, mobile ticketing will be available, buying a senior pass straight from your smartphone, and fare capping, which I believe is the best, one of the best benefits for this new system. We can go to the next slide. So to give you an idea of what this daily cap scenario would be, for example, for the fare capping, it's very important that people understand that it will give you the best fare. So customers will continue to tap, but will no longer be charged for the day. For example, if a senior person and what I mean by senior is anyone who is in our fare reduced program, meaning anyone with disabilities, anyone in Medicaid. So seniors would also be part of that program. So for example, if in the morning they go and they tap, it'll discount at $1.25 from their card. And let's say about, in the afternoon, they want to go somewhere again, it'll discount another $1.25. But if they're trying to do a third trip later on, it'll only discount 50 cents. So the moment it reaches $3, they can tap as much as they want after that, but it will not charge them more than $3 per day, which is a huge, huge benefit, specifically for the communities who have limited incomes. So we're really, really excited for this, for this specific one. We can go to the next slide. So how do we register? A big part of our campaign is making sure that we do this, that we're able to reach through all of these communities and making it super easy and very simple for them to almost in a way that they don't even notice that they are now in a whole new system. So we want to make it very simple. The very first way that we are trying to get to our seniors, people with disabilities, people in Medicaid, is specifically reaching out to the communities who are already in our system. We have over about 20,000 people in our system, in the program already. So we are sending them letters. These letters are that actually have a fill out form at the bottom, and people can simply fill that out and send it back to us in an envelope that is included in the mailing, and then we'll be able to just send them a replacement card for September. So that is what people will be getting in the next few weeks, and a very important part of our outreach. However, we also know that not everyone will be able to send back a mail or be able to do this. So we have other ways. We can go to the next slide. So we also are giving them the opportunity to call our Pronto Support Center visit our transit store specifically for those people who need to update their information. Maybe they have a new address or different information that they need to tell us about. So we have that. And also we are doing a lot of outreach in the month of August. So we are also telling them, like, you know, you can come see us. We'll be able to register you on site. We are having a lot of these outreach events in our transit centers and events in different places. So we'll be doing a lot of that in August. But a very specific reason is because September is going to be free ride month. And we can go to the next slide. So to senior outreach and communications, like I said, number one is pre-registration, making sure we push this sign up for seniors, people with disabilities, and update their information. And a huge benefit of that is to be able for them to ride free in September. So anyone who has a Pronto account in September will be able to ride for free. That means free transit for anyone in September. Like I think that's one of the coolest things happening this year with Pronto specifically. So we want to make the transition, like I said, as seamless as possible for them, and being able to provide those free rides in September will allow them to not just get familiar with the system, but also be able to maybe ride transit a little bit more, or be able to update their information if they need to sign up. Our main target audience for early registration is seniors, people with disabilities, and or on Medicaid, and we have a goal of about 133,000 people, hopefully more. That will be our goal. We can go to the next slide. Part of our outreach, so MTS has identified over 20 agencies and organizations dedicated to help seniors and communities with disabilities, and among them are San Diego Regional Center, Braille Institute, Access to Independence, Casa Familiar, Deaf Community Services, San Diego Center for the Blind, Arc of San Diego, and San Diego ACES. Those are just a few of them who we are already talking to, and we will be providing workshops, information, materials, anything that they need to be able to sign up their clientele. And obviously we'll be communicating with them throughout this entire process. We can go to the next slide. And like I said in the beginning, I am a huge believer of definitely the way that we need to reach out to them is definitely talking to you and talking to these organizations that are involved with this specific audience. And I want to talk to each one of them individually, because we know with COVID, a lot of things have changed, and the way that they have structured their day-to-day has changed. So for example, I noticed some of them have changed hours, some of them now have a few more COVID restrictions. So for example, we're flexible to all of that. So we want to provide transit one-on-one workshops, if possible, pop-up information tables at transit centers nearby. We want to also provide partner communications toolkits, content for social media, e-newsletters, bulletin boards, graphics, flyers, registration forms, online workshops, pop-up information tables on site if you need to, and signage and any other collateral that you might need. So my goal is to be able to hear from you, to understand what you need. And this is basically our outreach and what we're doing to be able to provide the best information possible for our seniors and our communities with disabilities and people who are with limited income. So we can go to the next slide, please. And of course, Ride Free all September. So the launch day is officially in September. The transition obviously begins in August. September will be free for anyone who has a Pronto account. And like I said, we will be giving free cards, outreach, all of outreach events during September in a lot of our transit stations. And we'll be able to, during that time, we'll be able to reach out to any organization that needs our information, needs help to be able to get to our communities. So we can go to the next slide. And yeah, like I said, we need your help. We need your help to be able to get the word out, whether it's through social media, e-newsletter, mailing, flyers, anything you need. Please let me know. We can go to the next slide as well, please. And yeah, anything that you need, please let us know. Like I said, my name is Grecia Figueroa. I am marketing specialist here at MTS. I believe some of the people that I've been already talking to are in this call. So if you hear from me, please just get in contact. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Grisha. Would you mind putting that support number in the chat for everyone? The telephone number?
Yes, I can put my email, if anything, that way you guys can contact me directly and I can provide all information. Do you mean the number for Pronto Support Center?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay, yes, I can do that too.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions for Grisha? Am I saying your name right?
It's Gracia, but it's fine.
Gracia, I'm sorry. I don't see any hands up from members or attendees, but thank you so much for your, oh, here we go, Sharon.
Yeah, I thought you were only getting members first. That's why I didn't raise my hand. Gracia, I have a question on the form that has to be filled out. That was a beautiful presentation. There's a lot there, and I think I got maybe 15% of it. So on your beginning one, the form, what kind of questions are on that form?
So in the form, let me see if we can go back to that.
Is there anything private that one would worry about sending back through the US mail?
No, so no, because for example, a lot of the personal information, we already have that information in our system. So we wanted to make sure that all of that personal information was not being put in the mail at all. So all you have to give us is your first name, last name, middle initial, and your address, and just let us know what type of card you have. Because if you tell us, let's say you're a senior and you give us first name, address, and last name, we already have you in the system. We can find you. So, and your date of birth, if you're youth, that way we know if you're already in our system, and that's it. Basically, that's it.
No, that's great.
Number, there's none of that. So it's because we already have your information.
Great, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you for your question, Sharon. Any other attendee or member comments? All right, I don't see any hands. Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you so much for having us.
All right, item number 6 is the Comprehensive Corridor Management Program overview with Rachel.
Oh, hey, Megan, this is Lisa. Really quickly before Rachel gets started, I saw that Robert Gibo is here. So Robert, can you just confirm your attendance? Robert? Okay, well, I saw that he joined. And then I see a Todd in the attendees room. Todd, is this Todd Shaw from Home of Guiding Hands? Todd?
Hey, Lisa, this is Robert. I'm here.
Okay, great. Thank you, Robert.
I apologize. I was dealing with an emergency.
No problem. And then Todd Shaw, are you present? We can come back. Okay, Rachel, sorry, you can go ahead and get started.
Okay, thank you, Lisa, and thanks for giving me some time at the STAC meeting today. My name is Rachel Kennedy. I am a corridor planning manager here at SANDAG and overseeing the development of our comprehensive multimodal corridor plans. And so I wanted to share some information with these plans or on these plans with you today. So next slide. So many of you may be familiar with the regional plan that's being developed, and that takes a look at our entire region from kind of a higher level of detail. With the corridor plans, we're taking a look at smaller geographic region or areas of our region. And these are multimodal transportation plans that align with state goals and funding. They help to provide a bit more detail to some of the elements, transportation elements that are discussed in the regional plan. And they allow Sandag and Caltrans to be competitive for certain state funds, including the Senate Bill 1 funds, and help us be more competitive for other state and federal funds. So next slide, please. So the corridor plans take the complete corridor concept, which is one of the 5 big moves from the regional plan, and help to apply it within the geographies of the corridors that we're looking at. So here with the picture that you see on the slide, if we kind of move from left to right, you can see we have a number of different transportation modes that are included. So on the left-hand side, you see a freeway there that has different types of lanes for trucks, for people who are carpooling, for connected vehicles in the future that have technology to be able to speak to each other and maybe travel a little more closely together, general purpose traffic, and those lanes could be dynamic so that they change throughout the course of the day depending on the levels or volumes of traffic. If there's a crash or another incident on the roadway, the lanes can be reappropriated for emergency vehicles or other uses as needed. As we move towards the center of the photograph, you can see underground there we have high-speed transit to take people to destinations throughout the region quickly, efficiently. On top of that, you can see a bike lane there for active transportation and wide sidewalks to accommodate folks walking, using wheelchairs, strollers, other personal mobility devices. And then at the far right-hand side, you can see a local roadway that has connections to local buses, neighborhood electric vehicles, private cars, and other mobility options. So within these corridor plans, we're taking a look at all different types of transportation projects or services that could be included. Go to the next slide, please. So the comprehensive multimodal corridor plans are a document that the state, the California Transportation Commission, has provided some guidance. There are agencies similar to Sandag or other districts for Caltrans throughout the state that are also working on these types of plans for segments and areas within their jurisdiction as well. Within the guidelines from the Transportation Commission, they've identified different areas for agencies to be keeping in mind as planning considerations as the corridor plans are developed. So taking a look at active transportation and micromobility, how transportation can help to support economic development and goods movement, improve air quality and public health, increase access to affordable housing, serve low income and disadvantaged communities, improve public safety and security, reduce greenhouse gases, and a number of different elements. Next slide, please. So currently, Sandag and Caltrans together are working to develop 5 corridor plans, and these 5 are currently ongoing. If we look at the map here, up in the yellow on the top portion of the map, we have our North County corridor that includes State Route 78 between I-5 and I-15. A portion of State Route 76, the Sprinter corridor, and northern portions of the Coaster corridor. If we move to the second corridor, which is in orange, that is our San Vicente corridor, which includes State Route 67 between Ramona and Lakeside. In green is our Coast Canyons and Trails corridor, just shown in the middle of the map, and that includes State Route 52, the freeway portion of State Route 67, and a number of local bus routes and portions of the trolley through that central corridor. In dark blue, we have the Central Mobility Hub and Connections Corridor. That focuses on the areas surrounding the San Diego International Airport, including downtown San Diego, the Midway community, Old Town, and parts of Point Loma. And then last, but certainly not least, we have our largest corridor, which is the South Bay to Sorrento corridor that's shown in purple. And that includes 805, the southern portion of Interstate 5, the Blue Line trolley, looking at the future Purple Line trolley as it's referred to, that would provide access from the border up to Sorrento Valley. Next slide, please. So in addition to those 5 corridors, we have another 6 corridors that we will be looking at in the future. This will be a multi-year effort. So we have corridors that we'll be looking at along the I-15 corridor, and these also will be looking at transit, bike access, walking access, looking at some of the major local roadways in these corridors. And these study areas, these ones are not yet underway, so you'll note it's sort of more of a buffer looking shape here as compared to the more defined geographies you saw in that first map. So we will in the future also be looking at the I-15 corridor, the State Route 56 corridor, the I-8 corridor, and that one we're anticipating starting later this year, the State Route 94 corridor, and that one we're anticipating starting later this year as well. State Route 125, and then one that's called the Airport to Airport. So it's looking at improving connections between the San Diego International Airport and the Cross-Border Express facility that provides access to Rodriguez Field in Tijuana. Next slide, please. So here we have a graphic that provides some more information, and this is available on our website. And at the end of the presentation, I'll provide some links and more information about how you can access these different materials. But this helps to show sort of the process for developing the corridor plans. So first, we take a look at the corridor characteristics. All of the different teams have taken a look at demographic information, looking at who's living in the corridor, how are people currently using the transportation services that are available in those areas. Then they're taking a look at gaps and opportunities. So what might be some opportunities for making the system move more, operate more smoothly? Where are there areas where we have major job centers in some of these corridors, and some of them can be very challenging to access right now via transit or non-driving modes. So we're taking a look at some of those gaps and opportunities that may exist for filling in those mobility options. Then the groups take a look at identifying different transportation solution strategies. That's how the corridor plans refer to them. And those would be different transportation projects or programs or policies that could help to improve mobility. And we're doing public outreach and have been doing public outreach for all of these corridors to get input from folks on what are some of the connections that are missing. And I'll highlight some of the different ways in a few minutes that you can provide this type of feedback to the different teams. And then they'll be developing, a list of projects and programs and putting them into the corridor plan itself. So next slide, please. So this slide here shows some of the different transportation elements that are included. So it includes a variety of different services. It could be commuter or intercity rail, local and rapid buses, light rail, pathways. So those are for people on foot, people in wheelchairs, bikeways. In one of our corridors that's in East County, the San Vicente corridor, they're also looking at equestrian trails. Different types of personal rideable devices, looking at the local roadways as well. So it's you know, all of these different modes working together to help people have a good travel experience and be able to get where they need to go. Next slide, please. So with the 5 quarters that we have underway, everyone has a little bit of their own schedule, but this slide here shows an overview of our general schedule. We have been, the teams have been taking a look and analyzing the existing data, reaching out to stakeholders. With the information and data provided, the teams are starting to look at transportation solutions, taking a look at different types of projects and seeking public feedback on that. A little bit later this year, the groups will be taking a look at their different transportation projects and utilizing Sandag's activity-based model to get some data points back on what it could look like potentially in the future if those different projects were implemented, what types of mode share might we see, access to jobs in higher education, air quality impacts, looking at those types of metrics. And then later this year in the fall and winter, the teams are looking to have their draft plans, which will be shared with the public for input, and then eventually final plans. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned earlier, we have been seeking and are still seeking public feedback and input, and all five of the quarter plans that are currently underway have virtual engagement hubs that are online on the Sandag website. And within those virtual engagement hubs, you can take a survey to provide feedback. We have an interactive map, and I'll show a slide in a minute of a sample of what that looks like, where you can go in and put pins on the map and provide specific information. So you could talk about, you know, maybe an intersection where the sidewalks aren't completed, or an area where you think it would be good to have a bus stop in the future, or you know, another area where maybe there's a lot of traffic congestion and it's hard for pedestrians to cross the street. So it's a nice mapping tool, and there is also a video, the tutorial video, both available in English and in Spanish, that shows you how to grab those pins and drag them and add the information to the map. That's available on the website as well. And then we also have a general comment form for each of the teams where you can add information. And additionally, on those project pages, there's also an area where you can provide your email if you would like to be receiving updates on the project as well. Next slide. So here is one example. This is for the Central Mobility Hub team, a screenshot of the interactive map. So as you can see on the map, there's a number of different dots where folks have added comments, and we've received, this team has received a lot of comments, bike and pedestrian ideas and concerns and issues that folks are experiencing in the area, as well as comments on transit, goods movement, comments more specific to the airport for this particular study. So it's a really nice tool. It's really helpful for the teams that are working on this to be able to get this type of specific feedback and ideas that folks have. And it's, you know, there's the video, and it's pretty easy to go in and drop the pin and give us your feedback. And all of the project teams are pulling this data regularly from their project pages and taking all these different ideas into account as they're starting to work on their transportation solutions. So next slide. So this slide here provides some information on the different ways that you can both view information and send us questions, comments, ideas that you have. We have the webpage that I mentioned, and each of the 5 quarter studies that are underway has its own webpage and virtual engagement hub that you can take a look at and provide feedback on. You can send emails to us at the cmcp@sandag.org, and our teams will be responding to any emails that we receive through the email address. We also have a voicemail where you can leave messages or text us to share thoughts or ideas that you have. And then we also have some information here about our social media presence. And then my name and email contact is on the left-hand side of the slide as well. So with that, I'll turn it back to the chair, and thank you for letting me share this information with you today, and happy to take any questions from the group. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Rachel, for your presentation today. Do we have any member comments? Or attendee comments? Or questions? Okay, I'm not seeing any hands up. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 7 is the 2021 STAC membership item. Lisa.
Thank you, Megan. And just a quick note, Todd let me know that he is here, so I've updated the meeting minutes to show that Todd Shaw is here. So moving on to the 2021 STAC membership. As I mentioned at the May meeting, we have 6 positions on the STAC that are expiring at this time. 1 at-large voting member, 1 special interest alternate of potential transit riders who are seniors, 2 at-large alternates representing the interests of seniors, persons with limited means, or disabled transportation users, 1 social service provider for seniors, and 1 social service provider for persons with disabilities. And I'm very happy to announce that the STAC membership committee met on July 8th, and we welcome the following new members and returning champions to the STAC. You might have seen my email go out last week. But for individual members, Sharon Beckus will be serving as our at-large individual member. Ted Kagan will be returning as our special interest alternate member. David Jackson will be our at-large alternate member, and Alejandra Warner will also be an at-large alternate member. And for our agency members, Travelers Aid Society of San Diego will be our agency membership for social service providers for seniors. And the ARC of San Diego will be the agency membership for social service providers for persons with disabilities. We thank all of the applicants, and SANDAG encourages those not recommended for membership to continue to attend STAC meetings as public attendees and to apply for membership again next year. Thank you to Survivors of Torture for serving as the agency member for social service providers for seniors. A big thank you to Rebecca Steiner and Helen Elias for your years of membership on the council. I don't think they're here today. But I also wanted to give a big thank you to Charlene Ornelas for her over 15 years of involvement with STAC. And I don't think she's on the meeting today either. But Charlene let me know that she's going to be moving to Tucson to be with her family. So she will be leaving the San Diego area. And at the Transportation Committee meeting on Friday, just this past Friday, Chair Vargas took the time to recognize Charlene. So please check out the meeting recording if you get the chance. Again, thank you to Charlene and all of our members for your years of service. So I don't know if we had any comments or anything regarding membership.
I don't see any hands up. Thank you so much, Lisa, and welcome to all of our new members, and thank you to all of the outgoing members. Item number 8 is the 2021 Unmet Needs Public Hearing Update.
Okay, yeah, this is Lisa again, and just continuing, SANDAG, MTS, and NCTD have addressed all of the comments received during the 2021 Unmet Needs Public Hearing, which was held at the May 18th STAC meeting. please see the table included in agenda item 8 of the meeting agenda. In addition to the comments received during the meeting, I received 2 comments after the meeting, which I've included in the table as well. So if you look on page 10 of the agenda, if you're looking at the full PDF, I don't usually include reports within the agenda for the STAC meeting, but we did for this because I figured it would be the easiest way just to show how all the comments were addressed. So Sharon, this is where we addressed your comments regarding the schedule or schedules. So Mavash from Survivors of Torture had made a comment about funding for public transportation, and we responded with comments about how it had been noted in the coordinated plan. Sharon's comments regarding scheduling had been provided to MTS and NCTD for comment. Bud had made comments about increasing funding. Clyde had made comments about the strategic multimodal, Clyde had made comments about adding service, and so NCTD responded about that. Ethel Miranda had made comments about service during COVID-19, which MTS and NCTD responded to. Arun had a question about funding. And then Ted followed up with questions about switching from Compass to Pronto, which is partially why we added the Pronto presentation this meeting. And then Faye had responded about transit service in the MTS and NCTD service area as well. So I don't know if anybody had any extra questions or wanted to discuss anything within the report. I'm checking the chat now. I don't know if anybody else wanted to speak regarding this item. Okay, seeing or hearing no further comments, I guess we can.
Sharon has her hand up.
Oh, Sharon.
Thanks. It was the last minute. So, I had the document open on another tab, and I just couldn't find page 10. So is it on a different document?
If you look at the agenda, the full PDF of the agenda, it is on page 10 if you're looking at the whole PDF.
Okay, so I go to page 3 and then 4, and then an unnumbered page.
Yeah, it might not have a page number on the bottom, but
oh, so I'm not looking at the numbers on the bottom. That's why I can't find it then.
Right. Yeah, if you look at the whole PDF, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I'm looking for page 10. I can't find page 10. All right, bottom line, did they say they're going to put the schedules back on the bus?
They said that all Breeze buses have scheduled booklets with current schedule information, and 3 NCTD customer service offices have booklets and can provide any schedule information needed. And it's also available on the website. I don't know if Charles or Robert wanted.
NCD has it wired. They got it.
Oh, okay.
But MTS doesn't have it. It's
okay,
MTS buses that do not have schedules. NCTD has their booklets on the buses, but MTS does not.
Jay, I don't know if you can speak to that.
I would have to, sorry, was not prepared for that. I'd have to research that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was what I brought up on May 18th, by the way.
Okay, so it was, I'm sorry, I had thought you were asking about North County Transit District and not MTS, but I can follow up on that for you, and I apologize.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sharon. Does anyone else have any comments or questions on the public hearing update item? I'm not seeing any. We can go ahead to the transit operator updates. Would MTS like to go first?
Good morning, everyone. Jay Washburn, MPS here. A couple of quick notes. We have restarted our in-person assessments. As of July 1, everything has been going very smooth there. Positive comments from the applicants in regards to all the COVID precautions that we have put in place. So things have been going very smoothly there. I'm happy to see people back in the office and having the in-persons. Reminder that the FTA and TSA do require face coverings on all public transit. Even though the state has said no face coverings, it is still federally required on public transit, so all bus and trolley and access vehicles. We continue to move forward on Mid-Coast. It was Wayne that brought up, we're having a lot of events at different stations as we start opening different locations and previewing them. Very excited about that coming up. Between that and Pronto, it's keeping everyone here quite busy right now. And lastly, MTS Access is adding some new vehicles to our fleet. They are actually wheelchair accessible minivans. We have 14 of those that are going to be going into our fleet. Should be going in service August and September. So we're very excited about that addition to the fleet. Hopefully it'll give us an opportunity for certain situations where, similar to our taxi program, where we have single rider type of trips that don't fit in multi-load, we'll be able to use the minivans for those trips. More cost effective and efficient for MTS, and hopefully also provide a better ride for those clients. The only drawback is those vehicles are gasoline because there is not a propane or electric or a green version of the minivan yet. Technology just hasn't quite gotten that far. Most minivans, when they do add batteries in them, they're under the floor. And in the minivans, they lower the floor for accessibility. Therefore, there's no room for batteries. So, well, hopefully technology will catch up with that eventually down the road. And that's really all I have this month. I'd be glad to take any questions.
Thank you, Jay. Anyone have any questions for Jay or MTS?
Sharon.
Go ahead, Sharon.
I would like to know and follow up and have this in the record. I'd like to know when MTS will return the paper schedules to the buses, because I do not have Wi-Fi outside, so I can't text it. And I transfer buses, so I really need that information. And I'm sure others do too. So the schedules are really important. And North County Transit does have the booklet on their buses. It's MTS that does not.
I will follow up with that specifically regarding MTS and circle back. And Sharon, I'll try to send you a message before the next STAC meeting update on that.
Thank you. I asked bus drivers and they didn't know either. So they said to contact MTS. So thank you.
All right. NCTD, Robert or Charles?
Good morning. This is Robert from NCTD. As we're coming out of COVID, our ridership is still down. We're hoping that regains here pretty soon. In the meanwhile, as we've been waiting for the ridership to increase, we've just implemented the last of all of our new paratransit fleet. We bought 54 new vehicles. 36 of those were high top minivans. All the radios been installed. We installed Fleet Watch software on it for maintenance, Zonar for safety, cameras. This is the first time NCTD has put cameras on board their paratransit vehicles, so kind of excited about that. That'll help us make sure that the driver's doing everything correctly and that we're being safe. Our flex routes, we have seen an increase of ridership on our flex routes, so we put 35-foot vehicles on all of our flex routes. That's a route going to Ramona and the Wild Animal Park, and then 2 routes that were going out to Camp Pendleton. So that's been a success. We've implemented all of our trapeze modules. That project is completely done, and we'll start putting flyers out on the buses here in the next week or so to start to advertise our software that you can use on your mobile cell phone or tablet to book and cancel rides. So there'll be a lot of information coming out on the vehicles pretty soon. Our in-person assessment center is open July 1st, just like Jay's. Everything's moving pretty smoothly, no problems whatsoever, and we're just moving along through the summer. So that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Robert. Charles, did you have an update?
Yeah, I'll provide an update on the fixed route side. We are preparing for our proposed increase in coaster service, and the NCTD Board of Directors will hold a public hearing this Thursday, July 22nd at 2 p.m. To hear public comment for proposals to increase the number of weekday and weekend coaster trips. This proposal to increase trips will go into effect on, October 3rd, but we're now looking at October 18th to coordinate with Metrolink and Amtrak. What is included in this change would be increasing weekday trips from 22 to 30. Friday trips during the summer, we have a few more, and so that would go up to 32 trips. And then weekend service will go up to 20 trips for Saturday and Sunday all year. So we're excited about this proposed change. This recommendation will be brought to the board. On Thursday, we've received over 80 public comments or surveys, so we're compiling all those comments and we'll have a summary provided to the board on Thursday. If any member of the public would like to make a comment, we're still working to bring back our regular board meetings in terms of accessibility and allowing people to come in person, but as of this Thursday, we'll still be only accepting comments. So I do have some information here. Members of the public may submit a comment through this telephone number. It's the 760-967-2001. Again, that's 760-967-2001. We have an email address, service changes, that's all one word, servicechanges@nctd.org. And if you do need assistance with providing a comment, you can call our customer service line at 760-966-6500. Again, that's 760-966-6500. So that is the proposed coaster increase. On the Breeze side, we have our normal service change in October in coordination with the coaster change. Right now, we just have minor scheduling adjustments for Breeze, so no major changes there. For Flex, Robert mentioned 371. That is the Flex service to and from Ramona and Escondido. There is the midday service, Flex 372, that is on demand only, and it was approved to eliminate that route in October, but the alternative for that would be the Sandag Guaranteed Ride Home program that is available for people that need that emergency trip throughout the midday. And just to put it into context, we've only had 18 boardings for the entire FY21 fiscal year on the Flex 372 because it is only on demand only. So that is one of the justifications for eliminating that route, but Flex 371 will remain. And so those are all the updates on the fixed route side, and happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Charles. I had seen, I think, Clyde's hand up. Clyde, did you still have a question?
Well, I thought maybe I would just go look it up, but I was confused when Robert said that that line was serving the wild animal park. As far as I knew, there was no stop at the wild animal park, and that would be really important to some of us. And I just wonder, is there in fact a stop at wild animal park or not?
So the 371 is a deviated fixed route. So if you want to go to the wild animal park or you want to go to the academy out there, we will divert off of the fixed route to drop off and pick up at the wild animal park. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions for NCTD? I don't see any. All right, we can go on to item number 10, which is the fact update. I just wanted to mention that we had our second meeting with the Code of Conduct Subcommittee. And the purpose of this committee is to review the Code of Conducts and different policies that each social service agency that's providing specialized transportation through SANDAG funding, review their processes and procedures and policies and try to come up with a more streamlined and uniform approach so that riders can experience the same type of code of conduct and process when handling those types of issues, whether they're using a JFS service or a fact service or any other service that is part of the specialized grantee program. And so we met on July 8th, and some of those subcommittee members include members from JFS, Travelers Aid, SANDAG, and then MTS and NCTD also were participating on that committee. And so we're looking at some documentation, and we're still in process of coming up with a policy that addresses the diversity of the programs and allows for different programs that have their own unique components and finding something that will work for everyone. So we're still working through it. We're looking at a two-tier approach, one that has to do with the ADA guidelines and compliance, and then also a second tier for the specialized grantees that are mainly, smaller programs where there may be volunteer drivers involved and other components of the program unique to the specialized grantees. So we'll keep you updated on that, but it's still an ongoing work in progress. And then under our updates, I wanted to turn it over to Bud to give us an update about some new accessible vehicles that FACT will be receiving.
Sure, thanks, Megan. So like MTS and NCTD, FACT has some new vehicles in the pipeline that should be in operation by the end of the year. These vehicles are funded by FDA's 5339 program, which is the Bus and Bus Facilities program. As Jay mentioned, we are also purchasing gasoline-powered vehicles due to the evolving technology on the battery-operated vehicles, as well as the lack of infrastructure in San Diego County. But we do have battery-powered vehicles on our radar for the future. But this round, we are purchasing gasoline-powered vehicles, and we anticipate purchasing approximately 12 low-floor minivans and 2 small cutaway buses. And these vehicles will be available for shared use in San Diego County. If you want any more information regarding the vehicles and our shared use program, feel free to reach out to me, and I can provide some more specifics regarding the vehicles that we are purchasing, as well as the program as a whole. Also, our board of directors approved our 2022-2027 business plan, and that is available on our website if anybody's interested in reviewing that. Besides that, I think that's it for this round. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Bud. Does anyone have any questions for Bud? I see none. Other fact updates, we have our next board meeting this Thursday. It is still being held virtually. And then we are still having our CAM meetings every month, and that is also virtual. If anyone would like to receive those agendas or participate in those meetings, please let us know. And I don't have any other updates. If anyone has any questions or facts, please let me know. All right, I don't see any hands up. So I think we can go to item number 11, which is any other continued public comments. If anyone of the members or attendees had any other comments to share with us.
Yeah, Sharon.
Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, hi, thanks. The chat function isn't set up for attendees that I know of on my side as an attendee to copy and paste from the chat. So if someone puts their email address in there and their phone number, like Gracia did, I can't copy and paste. So I have to look at it, write it down on a piece of paper, go to the back to the screen, write it down again on the paper. So enabling the chat function to copy and paste and or save to the file would be useful. The save to file is the 3 dots, but that's not set up for attendees. I don't know about other panelists. If you can copy and paste the chat, that I don't know. But that was, I mentioned that last meeting and it's still going on this time. Thanks.
Hey, Sharon, this is Lisa Madsen. I just want to note, I'll follow up with our production team on that and see if we can enable that or not. Again, that's something I can't answer, but I will follow up with production on that for the next meeting.
Great, thanks.
Great, thank you, Sharon and Lisa. For the next meeting, are we still meeting virtually as of now? Do we have any updates on that?
Hey, Megan, this is Lisa again. From my understanding, Sandag wants to look at having meetings in person in September, but that's what I'm hearing today. I don't know what will happen in the next 2 months, especially as we hear about this Delta variant. So I will keep everybody updated. But I think I would plan for it to be virtual, and with the possibility of maybe some in-person. I don't know how it's all going to work though.
Okay, we'll stay tuned, and we look forward to meeting the new staff liaison for this group. And thank you so much, Lisa, again for your support and your time. And we wish you the best on in your new position. But I'm sure we will also still be hearing from you every now and then. So with that, I think we can adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone, for participating today. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the week.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Lisa, and congratulations. This is Clyde.
Oh, thank you, Clyde.